Hello there, folks. Welcome back. You are watching McRaeathon 2021. We have our next run coming up now, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's Colin McRae Rally 2 by ZaufKauf. But before we do that, we have received a donation. Remember, all of your donations do go towards Mind. So thank you very much indeed for your generous donations. We've got 2 donations actually here. Let me just get them up for you. And we have received 10 euros, get it right, from Hypnotics, who just says fast. Well, thank you very much. That run was very, very fast. And speaking of that run, we have received 20 euros from Boa and Arrows, who was the runner on the previous run. Thank you all for letting me being a part of this great cause. Best of luck to all the other runners tonight. Well, thank you so much indeed, Boa. Really enjoyed that run. It was absolutely fantastic. With that, we're now on to the next one, which is going to be Colin McRae Rally 2 by ZaufKauf. Please take it away.
Yes, hello, my name is ZaufKauf, and today I'm not alone. I've got with me friends. Say hello.
Yeah, hi, I'm from Zola. I'm also runner of Colin McRae Rally 2.
You might have heard him yesterday already. He also co-commentated. Yeah, Colin McRae Rally 2.0. It's a rally game from 2000, I believe. It's from the 1999 season. We're gonna do the Novice Championship. So it's the easiest championship. It's only 4 races, 4 stages per country, and every other country has a super special stage. But we'll come to that. So I'm just gonna set it up. I'll play a CMR because we have marathon CMR. We take the Seat because it's the fastest. And yeah, I will start a countdown, and then the timer can start. So we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, first up, Finland. Pretty fast rally. So hopefully I can keep it out of the trees. The thing with Finland is, what I have at least, is that it's very reset heavy because it's so fast. Every mistake just takes so much time, and that makes it one of my least favorite at the moment because I've seen it so many times. One thing about Finland, we can say it's there's a little bit of RNG because it can rain in Finland. Luckily it doesn't at the moment, but when it rains, it's not the biggest problem here because the stages are pretty short and pretty fast, so you don't lose that much time. The most time you lose is over these cuts of grass you take, because in CMR2 they did not really program it that well as in later CMRs, that you cannot go off the track and cut out a big part of the stage.
One thing to mention, actually, like in I think every other Colin McRae Rally game with Finland in it, there's a lot of trees on the sides of the road, but in Colin 2 the road is really wide, so there's like a little room for some mistakes, but not too much, to be honest.
Yeah, and normally Finland has a lot of jumps. In this game it hardly has any. Only in the later stages, the expert stages. I took it a little bit safe before. One thing with this game is a lot of mashing between the stages. So hopefully I put enough noise gate on it so you don't hear me mash all the time. Yeah, stage 2 also very fast. Thing is to start turning in early for the corners keep a high speed, keep it in 6th gear as well. Normally you can also adjust your settings, your car, so it has a longer gearbox or a softer suspension. That makes a difference in Finland, but the setting up takes as much time as it saves. So I believe in my PV I adjusted my car and it takes 1.5 seconds and it saves at max 2 seconds, I found. So
Yeah.
it better be safe and just take the standard car.
I mean, it's a good practice if you're going for individual levels on the leaderboards, but while in a championship, you would like only to change probably only the gearbox settings for tarmac racer rallies.
Yeah,
and for Kenya.
I will only use it in Kenya. I know a couple of people also change it for France to make it a shorter gearbox, but I just can't get used to it. I think
Yeah, there's one skip in France that actually the neutral, let's say, gearbox is actually mandatory because you need to build up enough speed. And this is the skip that was recently found by Ferrod, and I don't think anybody ever has pulled it off besides him.
Except for Ferrod, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I lost about 8 seconds there because I made a tiny mistake.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, stage 3 of Finland, I think it's the shortest stage, or is Kenya 3, which is the shortest stage?
Depends how fast are you driving, but probably I'd say the Finland 3 is the shortest one. It usually takes me like 51, 52 seconds, and Kenya 3, 53, 54. But yeah, it mostly depends on your style of driving.
Yeah. As you can see, I'm kind of rusty. making some problems. But yeah, it's a marathon run. Not everything's gonna go right. I just hope I can pull off the skips later on in the run, because those are the things which makes this game most enjoyable, I think.
Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, we got a really generous estimate.
Yeah,
As a
I put
PB,
it very generous.
Yeah, but that's I think that's good, because if you mess up some skips, you can actually try them again.
Yeah, but the main part why I did it is because the last practice run I did before I submitted this, I actually failed in Kenya, the skip, and I got 7th in that rally, so I had to do the rally again.
Yeah, a good fail-safe is to actually save before the super special stage.
Yeah, I actually forgot that to do that. I have a save at the start of Italy, but I believe that's an expert save, so it's...
Yeah, we got a comment that the car looks kind of beat up even from the start.
Yeah, I have it on the lowest settings. Because for some reason, this game does not like to run on Windows 10 properly. A lot of people use different methods to run this game. I use DG Voodoo, and when I rank up the graphics, my computer just doesn't like it at all. So just set the settings on the lowest, and in Finland I bounced like once or twice the wall. I think when we get to Italy, my car will be beat up far more.
Yeah, so coming up is Greece and the Out of Bounds, also founded by Ferrod. it saves about like a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you actually manage to mess that one up, but probably you won't because you're a great driver, instead of like carrying on with the stage, you can actually just restart the rally. I think that would be faster.
Yeah, probably. So Greece.
3, 2, 1, go. 4 right.
So at the left here, we got a wall.
33 left.
We got a wall, but you gotta be kidding me, right?
What happened?
Climbing the wall is really easy, but for some reason today it isn't. But yeah, we go out of bounds because they didn't, the makers didn't really think you would just drive up the wall there, and we go out of bounds. And yeah, there is one difficult part to this bounce, and it's you have to jump over an invisible latch.
Yeah, that seems really hard.
Yes,
I mean, I believe.
Sorry.
Nice, that's really good. I believe there's a consistent setup, but I mean, it's not RNG by any means. But
No. I just have
it's just
a visual setup of a tree, which I just point my car
just-
towards.
I just try to drive toward the left of the last tree or something like that.
Yes, and then the darkest grey tree I try to hit with my left front. It's really weird to explain, but yeah, we're just driving along the side of the rally of the stage, and then we go completely out of bounds here, and here's the finish line. So we just skipped the complete rally. Still, even though I had to try it twice, it's still 40 seconds faster than the original. So, it's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent skip. Now we have Greece 2. Not too many skips. It's pretty fast. It's one of my favorites. I think if there's something to say about the charity or donations, I think it's a good time. So, Tim.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you for watching the McRaeathon. We are a 2-day speedrunning marathon held annually here on both the McRaeathon and BSG channels. Through the power of the internet, we're bringing you 2 full days of racing goodness from the comfort of our own homes to yours. We're raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organisation committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who has dealt with mental issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go towards Mind. Remember that we do currently have €110 donated towards Mind. So if you can get those donations in, it'd be greatly appreciated. Anything you can spare is amazing for a fantastic cause. Thank you very much.
I realized actually. I forgot to do it. And here I found, here it is. I found something really weird. So if I go here to the left and I go between these bushes, no, I have to go right. I just skip a part of the track. And it seems like 3 or 4 seconds. I don't think anyone, even I did it in a run before. So that's something new.
Yeah.
33 left into 5 right. 33 right, right.
The very next stage, the grease free, I think it's kind of broken because we can
3 right. 33 left.
we can skip some parts of it.
34 left.
Basically,
34 right.
I think we only drive the beginning as intended, or the last part.
The last two,
Yeah,
three
the last
corners.
part. Yes.
Right, just prepare my gearbox just in case.
3, 2,
Yeah,
1.
grease 3.
2 left.
From the start out, we just
Long 4 right.
ignore the road because
Into left.
who needs roads where we're going.
Straight 50. Into 2 left.
I'm gonna take
2
a little bit of a different approach than
long 4 left.
every other stage.
32 right. Into 3 left.
But yeah, and then
53
yeah, we just skip forward because
into 3 right.
the developers wasn't kind enough
Into 6 crest.
to
Left.
just just put spawn points
33
along the track. I'm actually not gonna do the second spawn.
50 David left.
How do you call it?
50 David right.
Yeah, spawn trade. That I get spawned forwards because it's very finicky, the second one, and
34
I don't want to get spawned backwards again, so I just
34
take the safest route and go straight. It only takes a second more, so yeah. Oh, 112 easily. If you drive to normally I think it's like a 120 or something,
1 go.
so it saves about 10 seconds.
4 left.
Yeah.
Into 3 right and 3 left.
And Grease 4 has also
Right, right.
an instance of a wrong spawn point. So Grease is, I think, the most broken
Long 4 left.
of all the rallies. So
33
Yeah.
right. Into 4 left. Right.
Like there's
3 right. Into into 4 left. Into
not make too much of a miss skip in Greece, because otherwise you will be stuck in Greece and Finland forever, and
5 right.
it's not a nice place to be.
34 left.
yeah.
34 4 right. Into 4 left.
So
And 5 right. Right. Into
there I just climbed up
105 left.
the wall along a tree side, and the game thinks, you're
30
already
long 3 left.
further on the track above, so it just pops me on the track above.
3 right.
pretty nice. It saves about 5 seconds, I believe.
into 4 left. 15 straight right.
And
30 long 4 left. Right.
a lot of these small tricks, small cuts were found by, I believe,
And 5 right.
Lucky, who unfortunately doesn't run this game anymore,
3 left. Right.
and also myself for a bit, and last couple of months.
Yeah, thanks to Ferrot, we actually, I think we managed to cut off around over a minute.
Yeah, more than a
from the-
minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's using the so-called, let's say, the safer thrust, for example, the grease one. But also there's one cut in France, as I mentioned earlier, that it can save around 20 or 30 seconds. But that is, as for now, it is too risky to even attempt on a run.
Yeah, and now we got our first special stage. And the first thing we do is go backwards, because why go forwards? Forwards is slow. We go backwards, and we try to drive against the AI car. In Greece, this can be a problem, because the car has... nice, does it again. We just hit the AI car, and the game says, no, you're not allowed to do that, you get a 3-minute penalty. But since we're so fast, so much faster than the AI, because of all the skips and stuff, we still get first in the rally. And it's a lot faster than doing it the normal way around, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. This trick saves around, 3 or 4 minutes in the whole run, because there are 4 super special stages, and we do that on every single one.
Yeah, the dumb thing is how I found it. I was just doing a special stage and I got a call, and I just left my car on the track, and the game unpaused. And when I got back, I saw that I got a time penalty, and the game ended without me crossing the finish line. So I was really confused at first. but then me and Lucky got to investigate, and we found out that just driving against the car just disqualifies you. It saves so much time.
And that also is a real strat in, I think, every other Colin McRae rally game. I don't know about the first one, but the third, fourth, and 2005 for sure.
The first one, I believe you get disqualified completely, and I think you can do it there.
36 left, into 3 right, into left, and long 3 right. 33 left, into 3 right.
But what I saw yesterday from the 04 speedrun, I believe you can't go backwards, you have to wait on the car, right?
Yes, because you get respawned when you go back, so you have to... I mean, you can wiggle a little bit, you can kind of go in reverse like 3 or 4 meters, but nothing more than that.
So
And
they tried.
Yeah. I mean, it's still faster to wait on the finish line. You can't... it's not possible to drive at the whole stage faster than the AI drives half of the stage, so... it's faster to just wait there. And I think in Colin McRae Rally 3 you can actually go back, but in the later installments of the series you're supposed to just wait.
This is the stage where Ferrot found this out of bounds trick. I'm not gonna attempt it because the setup only takes me twice as long as the time you save by it, and then you have to tightrope or walk a tightrope with the car along the edge without getting completely out of bounds and getting respawned. So it's not worth it for me.
Yeah, because going into the, let's say, transparent area of the map actually puts you back on the track. And there's some weird collision when you're out of bounds and you try to go when you're walking that tightrope. So it's actually really hard to balance on that one. So you have to be really careful. But actually, I've never managed to get that one. I mean, I tried both in Seat and both in Peugeot, and I mean it's really easy to go out of bounds with the Peugeot, but I'm not really a NG Plus runner.
Me neither. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not a big fan of the handling of the Peugeot.
Yes, exactly. It slides all over the place. I had a hard time with it. I mean, to be honest, if you know the drill, if you know how to play the game, then the second place on the leaderboards of New Game Plus is basically free. You just have to do the run, because there's like a very huge gap between the first and the second time, because the second time is actually made by Lucky, and as we stated earlier, he dropped the game quite some time ago.
Yeah, with the only skips he still did in the run is, I believe, with the super special steam bricks.
Yeah, still actually a good time.
Yeah, he was fast. It's the same thing with Viper. Every time we find something, one of us just barely beats the record, and then Viper comes along and just smashes it again.
Yeah, I almost had the award after the discovery of the Greece one out of bounds, but actually I think Ferret presented that skip to us during the community race.
Yeah,
the very race that Viper got the new world record. And the day after, I actually attempted a run with the skip, and I managed to beat the old world record by, I think, 2 seconds, because the record was 1:19:58, and I got a 1:19:56. But the Viper already had a 1:19:18, if I'm not mistaken. So if I did that run one day earlier, then maybe I would be the world record holder for a day. But yeah.
It's still a nice title to have. I had it for, I believe, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had it in the early days when I started running, and it was with a shocking time of 1:34:49. So you can imagine if now the world record stands at 1:18. How much the game has improved and how many new strats were discovered.
Yeah, I think the first time I ran it was like, I got a 1:40 or something. Broke my car a couple of times. But we're talking about 2015, 2016, I think. So, a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and after that run, the one I did, the 1:34, I actually had to drop out of the community for a while because some personal stuff was going on. But probably over 1 year ago, like 13 months ago, I came back and started doing Colin 2 again. And my first run after the big break was 1:23, I think. So that was I think that was a top 3 time at the time.
Yeah,
the first one was Viper, then Lucky, and then me, but then you came.
I think the board has become really separated, because you have 3-4 times below 120, I believe, and then it's a gap to 124.
Yes, I mean, there's not a lot of runners active right now.
No, so please, if anyone likes this game, competition is always healthy.
Yeah, and there are 3 times that are below 120. That's Viper, you, and me. And then the next one is lucky with 120.23, and this is where the gap actually takes place, because the very next round is Chotu with 125. And also that's kind of important to mention. We are measuring the times with RTA, the real time, because yeah, I mean, you can ask us why we don't use the in-game timer, because there's one in the game, and all you just have to do is add up the rally times. But actually, the explanation is on those super special stages, we get a 3-minute penalty that gets added up to our rally time. So it's just, I mean, it kind of lies to us. We are not that slow. So we just decided on the RTA.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you take the in-game timer, times which don't do the trick are faster, while in real time they will be 4 or 5 minutes slower. So it was kind of a thing we had to do, but we talked about it in the community, and it seemed most logical to do.
Yeah. And I don't really know, but I think the 3-minute penalty is not 100% consistent. I think I had some
yeah, it's possible to not get a penalty. I don't know how or why.
Yes, and yeah, that would mess up the leaderboards really badly if you were if you were to get a time that was faster with the skips, with the so-called 3-minute penalties that didn't actually happen, instead of doing it the normal way without the penalties.
I have to say, I haven't driven a bad France yet.
Well, I certainly can't say that. Tarmac is a nightmare for me.
Oh. I just completely missed a cut, but yeah. Yeah, tarmac is something, the Colin McRae rally games, you have to really know how to drive it. It's completely different than gravel or any other rally game I know. So, Tim asked me before if we would see snow. Well, there is snow, but it isn't snowing, sadly.
Oh, that's a shame. Disappointed.
Yeah, but that can happen in this second or the third or the fourth stage, because the weather is actually random. I mean, it gets determined before the rally, but it's completely randomly generated. And you can actually, the weather can change in the middle of a stage, so we can start without the snow, but we can end with the snow. But there's also a glitch that happens on the beginning or on the end of the stage. It depends, but I don't really know on what it depends, because when you start the stage or you end the stage and you get a gray screen, yeah, that's what I said. Great screen. The whole game actually goes gray. Every single texture is gray, and that basically tells us that yeah, the weather is going to change. So if on the outline you're gonna see a basically just a green screen of a green wall. Green. Jesus, I'm talking about.
Just keep talking. Just
yeah, I meant gray screen, not green. So if you just see a gray screen instead of the rally car and the rally stage, then don't panic. It's just the game. It's just a glitch that basically tells us that yeah, the weather is going to change mid-stage.
The thing is, for some reason, I don't get it. I don't know if it's a part of the DJ Voodoo or something, but I never get the gray screen.
Yeah, I had it a couple of times. I actually that surprises me, because yeah, I've never met a person that didn't have that glitch. But no, I guess I met someone.
Special.
33 right. 50 jump.
So one thing in Sweden,
33 right.
you can go over these kind of snow hills, and sometimes it's faster than. You will see me do it a couple of times, only once in this level, but also in, I believe, 4, in stage 4. And stage 3 is also possible, but you really have to maneuver between a lot of trees, and I make more of a mess of it than it really works out. Right. So stage 2 of the stage of the infamous ice skip.
Yeah, this is where we actually have to flip the car, and that actually respawns us further down the track, and that actually saves around, I would say, probably even a minute or 50 seconds.
A lot, at least.
Yeah, because driving on ice in Colin McRae Rally 2, yeah, it will take you some time on the stage. I think this is actually the only stage that has the has ice.
Yeah, it's the only stage.
You actually have to drive on.
33 left. 56 press and long 4 right. 50 turn 3 right to ice. 34 left. 30 long 3 right.
So here is the wire and the hill, and we have to just flip our car, and we get to the next part, the ice.
50 long 3
We have to do it once more. Most of the time at this second one, I just try to get over the wire, or over the
53 right.
Tape?
over the tape. That's it, tape. I didn't know the
Yeah.
word. Over the tape, and we skipped the whole ice.
Right. 53 left. 53 right left.
No one,
50 long 3 left.
never met anyone who said, yeah, the ice section is the best part of this game.
I mean, memorable that you have to drift over the ice. There's a lot of corners and turns there, but I mean, casually it's a fun experience. But when you're trying to get a good time, then yeah, you know, even if you're not speedrunning, you gotta think that is it really worth it to drive over the ice and not just cut through the snow? If not even going for the ice skip, just cutting through the corners through the snow.
Yeah, it's already faster. That's what we used to do.
Yes, exactly.
So, if there are any questions or donations, feel free to read them out. Stage 3 Sweden is pretty basic.
Okay, no problem at all. Well, I'd just like to remind everyone you are watching McRaeathon 2021, benefiting Mind. We would also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they are sharing technical assistance and their donation service with us, which helps with a much smoother running of our events. Be sure to check out their next event, which is BSG Annual from the 15th to 21st of August. And do you want to get updates for when our marathons go live and when your favourite runs are coming up? Then follow us on Twitter at McRaeathon. Also, don't forget to join our Discord if you haven't already. And if you wish to catch up on previous McRaeathon runs, then be sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Remember, please keep those donations coming in if you can. We've raised €110. Let's see if we can get a little bit more for Mind. Thank you very much.
Then thank you. Yeah. So stage 3 of Sweden, it's very short corners and tight turns. It's only about 1 minute and 20 seconds long, I believe. So it's not the most entertaining, enjoying spectacle. Ah, 121. And now stage 4 Sweden, and this is where I found an out-of-bounds skip. I believe a couple of months ago, quite recently. And it has, unlike most other out-of-bounds, this one has a pretty weird setup. Because normally you try to go to a small gap or go somewhere where the development, the devs didn't program right. But here we're going to go backwards through the tape, because collision of the tape is it's a bit weird. But I will talk about it when I'm actually there. Get a little bit of this snow. And here it is. So we have to turn the car back round. Don't hit the tree. So I put it up against the wall, and for some reason the game doesn't like it when we turn into a wall and into a banner on the other side, and it just pushes us through. And it develops. And on the other side, the same thing. We do the same thing again. And if I didn't hit into 4 or 5 trees, it would have saved about 40 seconds. And we skipped half the stage. The collision in corners with banners or tape it's not programmed really well. So it's only programmed to go to hold it against one side, but because the car is so big, it just pops through when you're halfway through it. And here we just skip a bit on top.
Yeah, and well, the game isn't really technically advanced. I mean, it's a good game, but it has some certain, I'm certain it has some flaws. So yeah, basically every single thing that's on the side of the road is a physical object, and well, excluding some of the bushes. Yeah, those are, you can drive through them, but most of the other stuff actually just when you drive into that, you will crash and probably damage your car. But that actually comes in handy, because if not for the so-called wire
Yeah,
on the ice skip, yeah, if not for the tape that's a solid object and that we can't actually destroy, we wouldn't be able to do the first part of the ice skip. And for example, on the stage 4, the out of bounds skip as well.
3, 2, 1, go. 6 right into 4 left.
Now we go to Australia, another
35
pretty
right,
fast
74 left.
rally with
Into 5 right.
also a lot of trees.
35 left.
Australia is
Into 4 right.
really not difficult, but it go fast. It takes a lot of risk, so you can very easily crash your car or just completely wreck it.
34 right.
On all the little stones, trees. Also, this tree doesn't exist.
30 long 3 right. Into 5 left.
And yeah,
Long
it's
4 right.
because it's so fast-paced.
52 left.
It's really difficult to keep your car alive. Go fast enough.
Turn 2 right.
Yeah, like in Finland, there's a lot of trees on the side of the road, and well, in Australia the roads are not as wide as in Finland, so we actually have to put in some effort to make the car stay on the track.
And in Finland you don't have rocks beside the road.
Yes, the rocks are really deadly. They are not movable objects, so if we crash into them, we're going to a full stop. And that probably means that your gearbox is going to be wrecked so hard. But hey, that's what service areas are for.
The thing is, in Australia you have at the end twice, I believe it's stage 1 and stage 3, you have a skip through the trees, and after how many times I run it, I believe this is the 600 or 700 run I do of this game, I still do not know the route between those trees, which one are solid and which one isn't, so I never go full speed through that.
Yeah, I just improvise whenever I get this far in a run.
3, 2, 1, go. Long 4 left. 33 right. 50 jump into 4 left. Into 6 right. 30 jump and 4 left over crest. Into crest and 3 left.
One thing you might have probably noticed is that for braking or for decelerating, I'm not using the brakes all that often or that long. It's more braking on the gearbox, because when you don't decelerate or accelerate, so you're neutral with your gas pedal and brakes, and you just decrease the gear, it slows down really fast, so it's the fastest way to slow down on slippery surfaces. Because I play with keyboard, yes, I play with keyboard, and not analog, I always lock my brakes when I'm just putting on the brakes, so that's one way to slow down performance.
Yeah, out of top 4 runners, 3 of them play on the keyboard, and then there's Viper. I think he plays on a controller, but if I'm not mistaken, he's not using the analog stick. Instead of he's using the D-pad.
Yeah, he's using the D-pad.
Yeah, and you may think that's kind of crazy, and a little, but there's a really good explanation for this. Basically, the steering with analog stick is really sensitive, so it's actually sensitive, so that's not good. Yeah, it's way easier to control the car, to maneuver with the car using the digital inputs. For example, basically anything on the keyboard or a D-pad from a controller.
I'm gonna repair myself because I hit a rock.
3, 2, 1.
And this is actually one of my favorite stages in the game. Australia 3. It's so fast. I think it has a really nice flow to it. But it's pretty difficult to get it right. But it's,
Yeah.
when you get it right, I think it's very satisfying. here you might think, why is he not going to the trees? For some reason, they made the fence solid through. So even through the trees, it's completely solid. It's one of the weird things the developers put in this game. Don't flip over. Okay. Where to go? That wasn't the right way. Just go around that. Already in stage 4 Australia. We're flying through.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, this stage 4 from Australia. Yeah, this is actually a really cool thing to mention. Some of the stages are repeated in let's say later as later stages, but they're just driven backwards. And Australia 4 is a good example of this, because I think Australia 6 or 8 or 7.
I believe it's 7.
It's not 5.
7. Normally it's the backwards track.
Yeah, it's the backwards one. Yeah, I mean the same rule applies to Finland 1 and 4. France, I think it's 4 and 5 in France, and in Kenya 1 and 4, and in UK 1 and 4, and that's all I remember actually. And also the stage that's driven backwards in Australia, the Australia 7, as we actually came to the conclusion it has to be that one. And so that stage is actually reused in Colin McRae Rally 4. It's got many characteristic places, spots that really give off the feeling that this is basically a deja vu. I've just been in this place before, exactly.
I had that yesterday when I was watching the CMA 4 run. I was like, hey, this UK stage, I've seen that before.
Yeah, except you don't drive on the place before the funny palace.
No, you just... I noticed it when you pass that mansion. Like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah. And yeah, speaking of the stages that we reverse, funny thing is that the first stage of UK will take us around 2 minutes, but the reverse one, that's the fourth one, if we manage to get the skips right, will take us around 1 minute and 20 seconds, or even 10 seconds if we're lucky, and we don't get bad weather.
If I did an IL, it could be what is the record, 104 or something like that.
102, I think.
102
I did yeah. I can actually check that right now. I think it's a 102 or 10. Yeah, 102 in the insert. It's 102.01, so that's really close to the 101 barrier. 102 barrier, actually.
So that was Australia, and now we go to Kenya. Don't mash, you need to... yes, you need to adjust the gearbox.
Yeah. Okay, and speaking of ILs, UK4 IL in bonus cars, so for example the fastest one, the Peugeot 205, is actually slower than the standard cars, because the Peugeot is just not wide enough to make one skip that makes it clip out of bounds. I mean, this is actually kinda possible, and only Ferrot managed to get that one, but it's really hard. It's basically just RNG, because you have to crash in a certain way and just pray that the car goes out of bounds. But in standard cars, it's basically very easy to go out of bounds there, and this is the reason why the standard cars category is faster than bonus cars in UK4.
I believe that Toyota is also too small to fit through it.
Oh, I've never checked that one. Though I think I checked that basically every other car had problems as well. I mean the bonus cars. For example, yeah, the MG Metro, Lancia Stratos, and I think I checked also Lancia Delta and the Ford Escort and Ford Sierra, and they didn't make that one, that gap. Or maybe Sierra did. I don't really remember about that one, but yeah, all the other ones, yeah, they failed the test.
This one, if you want to learn a stage, I would recommend Kenya Stage 2. It's the easiest to learn, I would say.
Yes, that's a really fun stage, and if you need to really take a break and like drink something, in the middle of that stage is perfect for that. You just have to make sure you're on the highest gear, on the 6th gear. You just press the forward key, and the second hand you can actually do whatever you want, because you're gonna stay on the 6th gear for quite some time. Yeah, for example, I drank something from a soda can on a marathon.
I tried, but my water is empty. It didn't pack enough.
Remember to hydrate.
Yeah, remember to hydrate.
That's really important.
But if you didn't know, it's a 6 press. Well, now we're at the end of a fun, fast ride. We just have to go to the other side, and it's like 2 or 3 corners, and we're done. I can't remember if I found the boom over the top of it that was faster, but I'm not 2 minutes. That's nice.
Yes.
We have then 3, also very short stage.
Yeah, as we said, it's probably the 2nd fastest stage in the game, right after Finland 3.
Not if I'm driving like this, but in Novice you don't notice it that much, but in Expert and Intermediate on those short stages, the AI is ridiculously fast in comparison to the rest of the tracks.
How are you shifting with your arrow keys?
I use the S and D key. I use the arrow keys to drive.
Yeah, and when it comes to me, I use A and Z. It just seems like a standard setup. I think it was like that in some other games. It was predefined as A and Z for the gear up and gear down.
30 turns, 3 left.
I know for older racing games, A and Z were often used for accelerate and brake.
I think it was like that in the Sega Rally reboot. A and Z to accelerate and brake, and the comma and the dot.
Yeah, the
buttons.
two
Yeah,
two
exactly
arrows.
those. Yeah.
I had that set up on Grand Prix 2. Now you know how old I am.
Yeah, and speaking of age, Colin McRae Rally 2 is, I think, 2 months older than me. Or 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 months older.
When did the first one came out? On McRae Rally 1?
And 98. I don't
98.
remember the exact month, but yeah, 98.
I was probably already 5 years old by then. I have not driven a good Kenya, so I really need to be safe
You
on
should
the...
probably be fine.
Yeah, I will probably be fine, but I need to be safe on the flasher stage. So if it goes through me, the car, I just have to drive normally and avoid the AI car. But we'll be fine.
Okay.
205 isn't that bad. Yeah, we haven't seen it this run, but the cars can just go through you if you're unlucky.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, to be honest. Like, if there were, if they programmed that the penalty system is a thing and you can actually get penalty if you drive free into your opponent, then why don't actually take your time and put it into programming the collision detection?
Yeah,
But I mean, it's kind of works sometimes. It kind of doesn't, where you can go through your opponent and you can actually kind of crash into them, but not really, because you can drive into the opponent and then crash. That's really complicated and weird, to be
Yeah.
honest.
in Greece it can be possible to just crash into the AI and not get disqualified, but the AI doesn't know what to do anymore. It's really
Yeah,
funny.
really-
It's really
Yeah, we just interrupt the AI's track.
yes, it's projected lines, definitely.
Yes, exactly.
And now we're in Italy and it's dry, so that's nice.
Yeah, wet Italy is a nightmare.
Yeah, Italy is probably just driving. There is a skip in Italy too, but it's pretty inconsistent. So I do not
Yes.
know the exact point to respawn, and there's only, I think, a couple of spots you can. You have to throw your car into so you get respawned on the right piece of track, otherwise you'll just go back to start and losing another 10 seconds.
Yeah, because on the Italy 2 you have to first drive up the hill that you're not designed to drive over. So that's the first thing. And then later you have to land on the track from the hill, and that is also really hard because this game is I mean, you weren't intended to go there, so the collisions and the collision detection is a little wonky. And then you have to drive down the track, and then at one certain place just go to the right and follow the track into the proper out of bounds area without any any textures or models,
You know
and
what?
that's when you get the respawn.
You know what? I have such a lenience with my estimate. I can try it at least once.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? Go for it. That's cool.
3, 2, 1, go. 3 right into
So right at the start here, we're gonna turn around. Gonna use this hill of this tree. Keep accelerating. At least the first part is... I managed to do the first part. Now the second part.
53 left into 4 right.
I believe this is the right spot. Yes, I got it.
Yeah, that basically saves around 5 or from 5 to 10 seconds.
52 right into 3 left into 5 right.
And yeah, this is actually, I would say that's a blessing for all the runners that don't really want to drive on the tarmac and they just want to do the cuts.
They want to do it more difficult. Something more difficult than just driving on the tarmac.
Yeah.
3 left into 3 right. 33 right into long 3 left opens.
But yeah, this tarmac is just me going to very tight corners a lot. So
3 right.
there are questions or
3 right. 33 left.
donations or something,
34 left.
just ask them.
70 turn 3 right. 34 left. Right into 3 left and 4 right. 103 right into 3 left. Right. Into 4 right opens. 30 left and 4 right. Into 3 left and 4 right. 30 right into 2 left. Into 2 right.
So one thing what
3 right and
probably a lot of people are thinking is, why don't you just wall ride these railings? A lot of, in a lot of games it's possible, why don't you do that? Well,
34 right.
these railings are not really modeled that good, so there's a lot of pieces that just stick out and just completely make your car go to a halt. And yeah, it's better to have a complete car than get those minuscule gains from wall riding.
53 right. 53 left. 54 left and 3 right.
I still use them to bounce off.
3 right. 3 left. 34
Yeah.
right into 3
I mean,
left.
they really come in handy if you're not that good of a driver, because instead of really taking your time, I mean not taking your time because that's something that we don't want to do, but if you're not good at all at cornering, then you can kind of just bounce off every single railing with your with the rear of the car.
1 go. 5 right. 4 left.
So yeah, that's something for the, if there's anybody who would like to try out this game.
34 left. 33 left into 5 right. 34 right. Into right and here 2 left. 33 left and 3 right. Into left into 3 right. 55 right. 32 left. 33 right. 34 right into 4 left. 33 left. 53 right. 53 left. Into 4 right, right. 33 left into 3 left. 34 right, right. Into 5 left. Into 5 right and 3 left. And 6 left.
Well, and you really have to be careful
3 right and into 5
while
left and 3
going
left.
close to the,
Into 6 press.
let's say, the gap, because
30 right left. Into
well,
4
when you're one of your
right. Into 4
tires are of the asphalt of the tarmac, then it can actually, you can spin the car actually if you it's, I think it's most common in the oh, where is it, in the last part of stage 3, when you actually want to cut through the grass and not go through the tarmac,
Yeah, the
but
last the
You
last
end up
part,
spinning your car.
I try to avoid it as much as possible. At least in stage 3.
33 right. 30
Yeah, because once you learn the lesson the hard way, you will know that you shouldn't cut there.
I've had a lot of PB attempts go to waste here.
53 left. Into 4 right. 53 right. 30
Oh, thanks for the good luck, by the way.
33 left. 33 right. 34 right. Into long 4 left. 32 right. 55 left and 4 right. Into 3 left.
Another thing worth mentioning is that the game doesn't always respawn you when you, well, for example, follow the hillside down to the trees. So, yeah, either you make your way back up or you just wander around to find a respawn point.
I actually had that in my intermediate run. Somewhere in Italy, I got stuck somewhere behind the house and I didn't know how to get back. So I think I lost like half a minute just searching where to go.
Yeah, because there's no dedicated reset button in this game. Yeah.
I wish they had. That would make it so much more fun to find new skips.
Yes, exactly. Because when you actually press the R key, which you would probably think that's the reset button, you actually get the rear view.
You look backwards.
Yeah. So it's up to the game if the game wants to respawn you or not.
Feels kind of weird not being very uptight over doing a good Italy. Just try and relax around the hillside.
Speedy boys. Probably speedrunners.
Oh, you could hear that on my screen, on my voice.
Yeah, I can hear the motorcycles.
The motorcycles
motors,
that come by, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal. It fits the theme of the game.
I was more worried that you would hear the church bells. I live next to a church, so UK, it's dry. I think we didn't have any rain so far.
Yeah, exactly.
But I saw
That's really good. That's really good in RNG.
I saw a gray flicker. My screen doesn't go gray completely, but it just flickers. So probably it will be raining by the time I get to the third checkpoint. Yeah, here it is. I already see the mud on my car. Short-lived happiness. And in the UK there are jumping over these hay bales.
73 right, into gear, 5 left. 32 right, 50, 5 left.
I think it's kind of sad since the new out of bounds yet that we don't do a bridge yet, because
30 up bridge.
I really like that.
33 left.
Yeah.
50 hairpins left.
I mean, you do that in the when you're driving the Peugeot 205, but not in the Cordoba.
34 right, finals, into 4 left. 54 right, finals, into
Maybe
4
should
left.
do a Peugeot run again.
34 left and 4 right, 33 left, 53 right, into 6 right and 6 left, 33 right, 32 left, 33 right, into 2 right,
Yeah, I see in the chat a lot of people,
and turn 2 left,
or a couple of people mentioning some other games that are coming up. I think some really cool games that are coming in this
Yeah.
marathon.
But the highlight of the event was yesterday.
Ball 3D,
race. Mode.
That was some beautiful game, yeah.
30 long 3 left, opens,
I
It's
would
a shame
tell
they
my
only had 4
grandchildren.
tracks.
Yeah.
75 right,
I will get a question. Why is there a thing that keeps whispering new instructions or something?
70 long 4 right,
That's the co-driver.
That's the co-driver, yeah. I don't really
Yeah,
listen to
in a
it.
real
34
in a real rally, there's a co-driver next to you on the passenger seat, and he actually tells you all the instructions about the upcoming truck,
Yeah, and
about all the
the voice is pretty low at the moment, so it doesn't overpower.
Yeah.
54 right,
And we don't really need the voice, because
34 left, into turn
yeah,
3
after
right,
riding so
Yeah,
many
we-
times, kind of know the tracks.
yeah, we know the tracks by heart at this moment, at this point.
53 right, into 6 left and 3 right, 73 right, 56 left, into 6 right and long 4 left, finals, don't cut.
More than just the engine sound.
Yeah, 'cause most games do have a soundtrack behind it. But sadly enough, this one doesn't.
I mean, only in the arcade stages
Yeah.
there's music playing on.
3, 2, 1, go, long 3 right,
Oh, there's also a cheat code for Colin McRae Rally 2.
3 right,
Yeah, the cheat codes work that way if you input the codes as your last name while creating a profile. Then you will get some sort of unlockables, and one of them is when you actually type your last name to be turn on the eyes, and you will get a woman singing something blah blah about freedom. I don't really remember. Do you remember it plays during the races if you turn it on, and it's a really short track. Entertaining. For example,
I love the monster
the
wheels.
fireball. Oh yeah, and monster wheels, and the bouncy collisions, and the aggressive AI, and mirrored track.
30 press, hair, narrow, stroke gate and 4 right, 30 very long 5 right, into turn 3 left, onto tarmac, 50 6 right, 70 turn 3 left and 1 hairpin right, 70 turn 3 left, 70
Okay, so if we have some,
Yes, donations or something. It's,
yeah.
now it's
You're watching McRaeathon 2021. We hope you are enjoying the race here. The run. It's very, very good indeed. I'm really enjoying it. So remember that all your donations are going towards Mind. So please feel free to donate if you can. We've raised 110 euros so far. We do have some fantastic ones coming up later on. Remember the bid war for the Grand Tour game later on today. You can choose between episodes Legends and Luggage, Survival of the Fattest, and the Holy Trinity. And currently we've got 15 euros on Holy Trinity and $5 on each of the other two choices. So please feel free to get your donations in to decide which episode of the Grand Tour game that Digital Duck will run later on. Thank you very much indeed.
so now it's UK4 time and it's dry. It's nice.
Yeah, okay.
So first of all, I'm gonna drive into this wall and just keep driving into this wall until I'm through the wall.
Yeah, I think Viper found that one.
Yeah, I believe so. And just way too early. Well, there's a small gap, and I try to shimmy my way through it. You have to slide, otherwise. It's really a shame. This is also a real run killer. Come on.
Yeah.
I believe Viper doesn't do this one in his run.
Yeah, he only goes for the first one. And he drives to the water in a different place that will respawn him further down the track.
I'm gonna try it one more time and then I'm just gonna drive to the end. Because I already lost a lot of time and my car is... dang it. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
I kept turning. In the Peugeot and in the Mini it's really easy to do, but unfortunately in the Seat it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, this is a really wide boy. This car is really wide.
I was doing strats which weren't for UK4. I was doing UK1 strat. you can't go over that hill that way. That's shame. I was on for a sub 120, but yeah, this really... Well, at 3 minutes 10, only 2 minutes slower. Screen or the camera pans away when I hit the car. Then it's time. But you know that already.
Yeah, he's the world record holder right now.
Let's see, where are you? Yes. That's it. That's Colin
That's
McRae
nice.
Rally 2.0.
GG.
Yes, now we're gonna see the fireworks. Yeah, normally there should be fireworks, but the game on PC doesn't work correctly, so you can't see or hear them. But yeah, that was CMOD 2.0. I would like to thank Franzola for co-commentating.
Yeah, that was a pleasure.
The is still one of the better speed games in the McRaeathon series. I want to put one shout out to BSG for hosting us. I've participated, I believe, once or twice on their marathons. They do some really cool marathons and also do everything for the Mind charity. And thanks for letting us use your platform.
Thank you very much indeed. That was an absolutely fantastic run. Really enjoyed that. Very, very good to see some Colin McRae Rally 2.0. Anyway, we've got the next one coming up very shortly now, which is going to be Cruising USA by Linkermeister. I'll be handing things over to Viper himself as well. And yes, thank you very much indeed. We hope you've enjoyed watching so far. Please stay tuned. We've got a whole day full of fantastic runs still to come. And remember, you are raising money for Mind, so please keep those donations coming in. Thank you very much indeed.